Okay, Stu, two Kempers.
Yes.
Tell us what's going on here.
So when I started using the Kemper, I came straight from using 2 amps. So the idea with that was never to like be super stereo all the time or anything, but really I just got into the blend of a Vox and a Marshall basically back home in England with when we were doing Delirious stuff. And so I just wanted to kind of somehow recreate that here, and so that's essentially why I've got 2 Kempers. So I use them exactly like I use an amp, just with no volume on stage. And the environment dictates when I use the Kempers or when I use the amps, right? So obviously with flying around the world, it's a safe bet to always provide front of house with something the same every night, and also something that's very familiar to us in our ears, you know.
Okay.
And so we use them there, and we use them when we do orchestra shows with Michael, and stuff like that.
Yes.
So I'm really honoured to be working with tonejunkietv on creating a bunch of profiles, a bunch of Stu G profiles, and so that's what I'm using here. I'm using a combined dual profile on here, which is my Park and AC30.
Okay.
And then this one is the Park and Marshall JMP50 combined together. And so, you know, it's just a very familiar sound to me. And I don't use any of the effects. You know, we've got profiles in there where I can just plug in the remote and kind of go and do a gig, you know, without taking this. But for this show, I just want my normal pedal board set up, hitting a couple of amps, and there we have it. So I do keep a compressor on, just tickling it a little bit. And then I come out on the left channel on here and the left channel on here, and we have a stereo input into the PA.
So do you run both at the same time for your sound, or do you toggle between the two?
I run both at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So both amp profiles are going live out at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like a dual amp rig that you're running in?
Exactly right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm interested, how close did the profiles get to
so,
the real thing?
Well, when you're profiling them, I don't know if you've played around, you have a toaster, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't know if you've played around with profiling something, but you know, when you are sort of refining your profile, you're toggling between the sound of the amp and the sound of the profile, and you know, I mean, it's really indistinguishable at times.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, sometimes, and that depends on your chain. You know, what microphone you're using and pre's and all that kind of stuff. But you know, the idea is that you're getting it to sound exactly the same. So. You know, it feels a little bit different at times. It reacts a little bit different to the dynamics and stuff like that. Like I said, the higher the gain on the profiles, the more you have to turn your delays and things down on the front end. But you know, I'm guessing I could experiment with using the effects loop and all that kind of stuff. But at the minute, I'm just happy with how it's working.
Yes.
So.
Okay. Yeah. So the first one that the tonejunkietv came out with was the Park profile.
In the Stu G collection, yes.
The Stu G. Yes, and then they did the AC30.
Yep.
Any others on the table?
Yeah.
Really?
We've got a whole slew. There's probably 4 or 5 different amps that are ready to become packs.
Yes. Okay.
And you know, we're working on impulse response. We're doing the impulse response packs for Helix and for other, you know, digital platforms.
Yes.
Of all my speaker cabinets, and you know, we've got a lot of stuff coming out.
Okay, fantastic. We'll keep watch on that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk guitars.
Okay. So this is the guitar. Like, because of luggage restrictions, I've just I bring the one guitar, and then we rent a backline one. But this is a Suhr Classic S.
Oh man, that's beautiful.
And it's got the humbucker and 2 single coils. It's completely stock.
Okay.
I kind of got into it. I mean, HW from tonejunkietv, he he has a couple that he likes to play in his studio, and so so I got a bit of a taste for them there. But then when I met Matthias Asato,
Yes.
and he had his signature model, and he was on a Tori Kelly show, and I got to go backstage and meet him, and we were chatting away in the dressing room, and so I played his one, and I really love, honestly, I love the neck.
Okay.
So and the fact that it's got the humbucker in it.
Sure.
So for this particular gig with Michael W. Smith, who is just the most brilliant musician, but you go and listen to the Change Your World album or the Big Picture album, and the solos on some of his songs are incredible, and Dan Huff played a lot of those, and Chris Rodriguez and Tony Palacios, and and they're amazing players, and this neck is kind of a lot more conducive for me to be able to do it, as well as having the humbucker in there. So it's kind of it's not quite a super strap, but it's kind of on the way there.
Yes, on the way there, yes.
Yeah, but it's got the 9-inch to 12 radius, fretboard radius, so up here it's a lot easier to go a little bit faster.
Yes.
And I have, I use Dario strings, and these on this guitar it's 10 to 46s.
Okay, I wanted to ask.
Yeah, I use the NXL ones.
Okay, the NXL ones.
Yeah.
Is that pretty much your standard on all your guitars, or do you differ
No.
the gauge depending on the instrument?
This is the only guitar that has the 10 to 46.
Okay.
When I'm with my other guitars at home, like my Duesenberg or my Les Pauls, and pretty much everything else has 11 to 49s.
Okay.
And then I have one guitar that is tuned down to C sharp standard, and I have like a custom detuned set on there from Dario. I can't remember the gauges.
Okay. Because it was interesting seeing this, because I mean it's so etched in our minds. Stu G with a Les Paul. I think it was the deluxe. Wasn't
I had
it?
the gold one is the deluxe.
Yes,
and
then that picture for me, I mean, that's so etched in our minds.
Yeah,
So that,
and the I had two. Well, I've got two Les Pauls. One is the gold top deluxe, and one is the cherry sunburst standard.
Okay.
And they're my favourite guitars. But different gigs call for different things, and
absolutely.
so this is perfect for this gig right now. And yeah.
So this is the one that you brought along. So
yeah, this is the one that I flew with.
Okay. So are these all rented in?
So this is the other one that we rented in for me, which is a Les Paul. It's the first time I've put it on, actually. So, yeah. So this is a backline.
So
Les
during
Paul,
sound check, you'll figure out what it
does. I'll
and
figure that out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And but it's a Les Paul is a very comfortable guitar for me.
Yes.
To play, and it does something different to the Strat. So
absolutely.
yeah, just wanting to if I break a string on there or whatever, just something that is really familiar.
Got a backup. Yes.
Yep.
I find the McPherson interesting because that's not a guitar that we see around often here.
Right, yeah. So this is, Michael's playing this one.
Okay.
In the set, and
all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's his guitar.
Yeah, this is Michael's guitar.
Okay.
And,
that's beautifully made, eh?
Yeah, they're great guitars.
Yeah.
Really, I have one myself.
Okay.
Really beautiful.
So this is electric only for you?
It's electric only for me on this gig. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, Stu, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Really appreciate the chat and the gear, and that you were willing to.
Let me show you these.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
let's get to these.
So I have this on my mic stand, and the Thalia capo. So these come with different inserts, and so they're made for your specific fretboard radius.
Okay.
So they don't pull it out of tune.
Amazing.
And it's unbelievably accurate.
Really?
Yeah, it's really good.
No matter where you put it on the neck.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah. So I use this with my Suhr.
Yes.
Just a slide from the rock
Slide.
and
the
EBO.
E. Mm.
Yeah. So
On how many songs do you use that EBO?
with Michael, only one.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'd probably still have it here if I wasn't planning on using it at all. It's just like it's such a familiar bit of gear for me.
Sure.
You know that if there's ever a moment that needs some sort of ambient wash or whatever, then I might use that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Oh, it's great.
Bye.
Great to chat with you.